Knowing my truck's electric, why would you not plug it up?
Look at that. I got 84 miles to E.
Electric cars were supposed to be the future, cheaper, cleaner, and better. But for a lot of people in 2025, they've turned into a
financial nightmare.
More drivers are realizing the real cost of owning an EV after the hype wears off. Unexpected repairs, expensive insurance, battery anxiety, depreciation, and charging headaches nobody warned them about. What was marketed as a money saver is quietly becoming a regret purchase for thousands of owners. Today, we're breaking down why so many people are regretting their electric vehicles, what the ads didn't tell you, and why this trend is finally hitting people's wallets hard. And by the way, I'll be featuring some of your comments in today's episode, so if you want to be in the next video, then definitely make sure to leave one down below. When you bought an electric car but live on the 3rd floor,
please allow me to show you.
Are you kidding me? And it's a Nissan Leaf, probably one of the worst EVs that are out there with battery problems. That is what you must be doing if you own an electric car and live in an apartment complex and have to do nuttiness stuff like that that literally just makes life even more inconvenient. It's not making your life better or more efficient, it's making it more problematic. Not to mention, there is no way in heck that an apartment complex would allow you to run an extension cord out your window 3 stories, because imagine if I lived on the 1st or 2nd floor story and this pain in the ass upstairs neighbor has a yellow extension cord dangling outside my window. I'd be pissed. Plus, it's a fire hazard, a trip hazard running across the sidewalk it's so stupid. But it reminds me of, I live in an apartment complex and I have seen many college students and adults have electric cars here, and they don't have garages, so they have to go drive somewhere and charge it. But I have seen people, too, try to sneak power from the building. They'll find an outlet somewhere around the complex, maybe near the maintenance room or the maintenance garage, and they'll plug in their extension cord and run it through the bushes, hide it, and try to plug it into their Tesla, and eventually they get in trouble. Not to mention, this charging it that way would probably take 2 days to get you to full charge from a typical 12-volt outlet. So it's stupid to me. It makes 0 sense why you would buy an electric car if you don't have a home charger. Me personally, I don't like electric cars. I'd say 90% of them I don't like. I don't think the technology is where it needs to be for me to like them, except for Teslas. That is the one pass. I do really like Teslas, what they're doing, and how they have these superchargers, and you can get a charger at home, The technology that Tesla has, I'll give it to them, is really good for what they do. But there's a lot of problems with electric cars too, which we'll talk about later on in the video here. But to not have a supercharger or a fast charger at your home, or a charger at all where you live, it's almost pointless to not get them. In my opinion, it doesn't make sense to get an electric car, and I want to know your thoughts on this down below. If you live in an apartment complex, if you don't have a charger at home, it's just pure stupidity. Anyways, I wanted to read a couple of comments that you guys had left on the previous Electric Car Insanity episode. It did really well, so here we are making a part 2. If you guys haven't seen the first episode, definitely make sure to check that one out. And if you guys want to get featured in the next episode, definitely make sure to drop a comment down below. Buying an EV without having access to overnight charging or charging at home is stupid. You're just overcomplicating your life. Seriously, like we just saw. Don't tell me that that is not overcomplicating your life. That is a pain in the A. And I don't want to curse for my children out there, but it's a pain in the ass. It certainly is. It's beyond stupid. It makes no sense to rip an electric cord down a building and plug it into your home. You have no business purchasing an electric car. It just doesn't make any sense. I got so much going on with my life. The last thing I need to be doing is dealing with charging my car from a 3rd-story window, running it out the building, and people are probably just going to unplug it. Let me know your thoughts on that. Oh my gosh. Just when I was talking about Tesla, we have one that caught on fire. What went wrong? It's plugged into the charger. Just when I was talking about Teslas being the best, which I still think they are, we see them catching on fire. That's another topic with these all-electric cars catching on fire. The comments say, it happens to gas cars too. And that's true. It certainly does happen to gas cars as well. And definitely when you start modifying cars, that's when I really see them catching on fire. But I'm sure it happens to normal OEM, non-messed around with cars as well. But I don't know how the stats compare. Maybe one of you guys can share that down below. The thing is, there's a lot more gas cars than there are electric cars. So there's obviously a lot more internal combustion engine fires than there would all electric. But I have heard lots of recalls and lots of problems with the hybrid Jeeps and other cars too, that the batteries catch fire, that they don't have the best technology. And when they were first coming around, you could overcharge them, not to park them in your garage, all these issues here.
This out. This is the new post office vans that they're coming out with, all electric, right-hand drive for easy deliveries. You got a rack over here to hold everything and a bunch of racks here in the back.
Why does it look like that?
The mail. This is designed to do a whole day of deliveries. Go back and get charged at night and then come back out. It's here by Oshkosh.
Oshkosh?
CES show here in Vegas.
Who the fuck made these ugly ass mail trucks like that?
What the hell? What is going on? I don't understand. That's the crazy thing too, is like the big push with electric cars recently has been for emissions, or these companies get federal grants or something. UPS, apparently USPS, and FedEx. I have seen it, and it's not like they just switch. They have to let you know by rubbing it in your face that it's an electric vehicle, because they put big stickers on the side of it. All electric, zero emissions, no carbon footprint, blah, 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 blah. I don't understand why they'd make a car look so goofy like that. Buddy got that Flint Lockwood car. Look at the other one. I think that's like Rihanna. That's like the shape of that car. It makes absolutely no sense. Every time you got to make an electric car, most of these manufacturers have to make it look so futuristic. And to me, it's like, can you just make it look good? Like, you don't need to make it all futuristic and goofy looking like that. Just make it look like a normal car, like a regular gas car. You don't need to then rub it and let everybody know, hey, this is an electric car. Look at how futuristic it is. You don't need to be doing that. That's not what people want, or at least it's not what I like and would consider if you're trying to migrate me from an internal combustion engine, regular gasoline car to an electric one. I like it to be similar at first so we can migrate over to it, not all different at once. Ugh.
It just suddenly told me there's an air problem with the car, so I'm not actually touching the throttle. I don't have the accelerator at all. Like, it's accelerating. I'm going 37, 38. Can you see the speedometer? And so I have to like hold the brake, so now I'm braking. Yeah, so it's constantly accelerating. So I have to like hold the brake down to slow down. The paddles don't work.
See, this isn't just an issue with electric cars, but it definitely has to do more with electric cars. Like I was just talking about the futuristic stuff that they have to do. They're doing it with, regular gas cars too, but they're changing everything to becoming electronic and futuristic, and it is going to be the downfall of these cars. Some of these manufacturers are starting to wake up. I just heard that Volkswagen ID, like that bus thing, the camper thing that used to be all electric, they're canceling it. They're getting rid of it. It's done. And even the Dodge Charger, I heard, it's done, the all electric version. It makes no sense why you'd even do that. Like the iconic muscle car with the big V8 or V6 engine is now all electric. It is so goofy to me because there's a couple that are on my apartment complex, and when they start their car and I hear the Transformers speaker playing out of the back of it, it's so goofy. It's so silly to me. Why anyone would buy an electric car from a company notorious for electrical problems is beyond me. And that's the thing too. 3/4 of these manufacturers can't even perfect regular gas engines and gas cars, and now they want to change course and completely try something entirely different. Like Ford is notorious for problems. Dodge is notorious for problems. And yet, for whatever reason, Ford decides to make a Mach E, all electric, a Mustang that's all electric. And those cars are terrible. They depreciate like rocks. Oh my gosh. There's so many bad things to talk about. The depreciation on electric cars is horrendous. It's horrendous. And then we talked about it, I think, in the first episode. These batteries are put underneath the car. It's very difficult to work on them. You need to have very expensive equipment to do so. But I have seen many times where people run stuff over all the time on the road. And if it was any other car, regular gas car, maybe your exhaust and a radiator would be a problem. And then you can get that repaired if it gets hit. Not so much your engine or tranny. It's mainly those two things. Those are the lowest things on the car. The lowest thing on an electric car is the battery. And I've seen sometimes where something hits it, they run over something in the road, damages the casing, and you need an entire battery replaced. And it's tens of thousands of dollars, costs more than the car sometimes, or it's so expensive, there's no point that the car's totaled out by insurance. So there's a lot, that needs to be fixed before I even consider getting an electric car.
I no longer want an electric car. I no longer want one. Nope. No, thank you. I just spent an hour looking for a damn charging station. An hour.
Wow.
And now I'm here, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know if the car's charging, and it's hot. I don't know where I'm at. I don't even know if it's charging. I've been sitting here for like 20 minutes. I don't even know if it's working. I don't even know if it's working. I think I'm going to stop it. I'm just going to go because I can't deal with this. I'm sweating.
Buyer's remorse. This brings me back to a story that I have. I was in San Diego, California a couple months ago, and I had an Uber ride, and I got picked up in a Tesla. And I find it very interesting for people that have Teslas, which are expensive cars. They're not cheap. And then they do Uber or DoorDash to pay it off. It's like, to me, the financial sense, it doesn't make sense why you'd get a super expensive car. Brand new, they're leasing or financing it, and then they do rideshare. It makes no sense. Buy a cheaper car. If you're lucky, you'll break even. But she said to me, and I was asking the owner, I said, this is a really nice car. I actually think they look amazing. I was in a Model Y. I think the Model 3, the Model Y, the Model X are awesome cars, even the Model S too. But I was asking her, how does she like it? What does she think about the car? And she said there were so many issues with it. She just doesn't like it and didn't know about the problems that are with electric cars until she bought one. For example, she told me, and other people have just recently told me, that you are supposed to, and Tesla tells you, you shouldn't charge the battery to full. You should charge it to 80%. So imagine you don't get a long-range car. I don't know the mileage. You could tell me, Tesla owners down below, and other owners. Let's say it gets you 250 miles or 300 miles. Then you charge it to 80%. So now you only get 250. Or you have the long range, and now you only get 300. I don't know. Or I think it's even less than that. So now you're getting less mileage use because you can't even charge it to full. You have to charge it to 80%. You lose 20% of what you could be getting. She then said she had to stop and charge all the time. She had an apartment, so she can't charge there. So she had to go to superchargers. There were lines waiting for people. And then because she was in San Diego and she would go to Mexico a lot, either she had a hard time finding these superchargers or chargers, she had to constantly have her AC on because it was hot, or it got super cold and she had to have the heat on, and the batteries don't do well in extreme heat or extreme cold. So that would also cause the battery life to, deplete much quicker. So she was saying she was only getting like 150 to maybe 200 miles out of her brand new car. And then it was almost every day or every other day she was sitting for like a half hour charging her car back up. And now that she's doing rideshare, it's pretty much every single day. So it's just so many issues with purchasing an electric car. With a gas car, you plug it in, done, 30 seconds, and you're good to go. Jeremy Clarkson said it best. Comparing an EV to an ICE vehicle is like comparing a microwave to a stove. Yeah, a microwave will cook a pizza faster, but do you really want a microwaved pizza? That's what I feel like when I talk to some electric car owners. Like, they have buyer's remorse and they don't want to, and you could just tell that they're unhappy with the car, but they don't want to say it out loud. I can see the regret on their face of purchasing it. Like this lady that I spoke to in San Diego. It's sad. This got 600 likes on my previous video. That's insane. And that's the thing too. I've driven some of them. They're fast. They're cool. I'm a little worried. I drove a Cybertruck too. Everything is electronic. Everything is tech. Sensors fail. Wires have issues. Like, the fact that everything is ran on sensors, fly-by-wire, stuff like that, like you turn the steering wheel and then it turns your wheels and there's a delay with it. It's just, I'm telling you, it's not as safe or as reliable as mechanically connected things. Things that are like physically linked together. That, in my opinion, is much safer and better than, sensors and wires that have delays. That it's just an issue. I don't know. That's my pet peeve with it.
Is a 26 Model S Plaid worth $120,000? But before we get into that, here's the main reason why I upgraded and decided to go with this car over my 2022. Now, this car comes with the Lux package. This thing includes free supercharging for life.
I sure hope that dropping 120 grand on a car that's going to depreciate like a rock. It's pretty cool that it comes with free supercharging, but it's still nuts. Hopefully that's transferable. So if I buy it off lease and the first guy, takes the depreciation, I can still get the free supercharging. $110,000 was the base, then $2,500 for the paint, $5,000 for the wheels, $2,000 for the interior, and then $1,000 for half a steering wheel. Unreal.
Pay for a supercharger. I never have to pay for charging on this thing, which is essentially free gas. And I've already saved a few $100 just within.
Yeah, but every mile you put on depreciates that car like crazy. So he's saying he saved $750. I don't know when this thing is ever going to pay itself off.
Last few weeks of me having this thing. Full self-driving for free, new looking color, and the new 21-inch Valerium wheels. The rear end on this thing just looks so good, I can't get over it. Of course, the new facelift. This thing has 1,020 horsepower. The interior lighting in this thing looks pretty cool. I also get sport seats in this one. Not to mention the rear screen is a lot bigger for my daughter. It's also a lot more quieter in here. No creaking, no cracks. No panel gaps. I also get hardware 4 now. Before I was on hardware 3. The full self-driving is insane.
I love how we're talking about cars like, oh, I got the new software update on this car compared to my other one. Like, it's like a video game. That's his reasons for justifying his silly overpriced purchase is like newer hardware, newer lighting, and a cool paint color and rims. That's why I spent an additional $120,000 on this car.
Like, I literally don't even have to touch my steering wheel. You're just not finding a better car in this price range. I mean, yeah, this car will definitely depreciate a lot, but I don't plan on selling it.
No, you can find a better car. It's called an Audi R8 V10 naturally aspirated. You could probably get an older one for, I don't know, 130 or the 09 for like 89K. He's showing you the same exact car that he has. A 2024 with 12,000 miles on it is selling for $89,000. And he paid $120,000. So within 10,000 miles, it loses 30 grand. Thrown out the window. There's no way the free supercharging is going to make up for the $30,000 he lost with 12,000 miles put on in 1 year. Oh my gosh. It's going to be worth $50K in 2 years. $60,000, $70,000 thrown out the window. That depreciation is unmatched. That is insane.
So that's not really going to affect me. You're just not finding a better car in this price range when it comes to safety, speed, tech, and reliability. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.
That's what that's like. He just pissed away $30,000 in 1 year. You could buy a brand new car for $30K in what he lost within the first year and 12,000 miles. Now, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. I'm going to be transparent. I bought a hybrid car. I think hybrid cars are the future and way better than all electric right now. If you guys haven't seen my previous video, I purchased like a 2025, CX-50 hybrid, which is the Mazda exterior, and the interior came from a Toyota RAV4, like the fourth or I think the previous generation of the hybrid technology, so it is identical to the older RAV4s. It's not the newest iteration of the hybrid battery. And I think those things are splendid. It's amazing. I mean, I get 35, 38, even 39 MPG around town. It's awesome. 35 highway. It's great. It's amazing. I think it's an awesome use of technology, and I'm not worried because it's been around. I mean, Toyota's been working on electric hybrid cars since over a decade now, 15 years in the making, and they've pretty much perfected it with this. This is the last iteration of that hybrid system, and it is perfect. There's really essentially no issues with it at all, and it's amazing. Even the batteries in the back seat, so it's much more accessible to work on than dropping the underside of the car. I don't know. I think it's awesome aside from buying it new, but I've explained that I was able to get the first year's depreciation off of it. I got it well under MSRP, so that was nice. But when it comes to electric cars, no, it's not it. Ugh, it really is not, especially if you're paying a car payment on it. Ugh. Wasn't the whole point of these things to be like good for the planet? Seems like people are treating them pretty disposable along with their terrible batteries and all the resources spent on creating and disposing of them. Yeah, I agree. And I've read things about like how they're recycling the batteries and blah, 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 but also how, you know, the lithium, they have to mine it in like Africa and blah, 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 blah. You guys can obviously correct me, those that really like electric cars down below. But I also really want to know, like, do you agree that lots of these other Android version electric cars are not nearly as good as the Apple Tesla? That's how I'm trying to compare and correlate these two. I don't think the other electric cars are anywhere as good as the Tesla ones are. And yeah, people do treat these disposable, like this guy did. In 3 years, he's already on to the next Tesla. They're treating them extremely disposable. And the reason these cars depreciate like rocks is because the batteries have an expiration date. They only last so long. And every so many years, you lose the full efficiency of the battery, just like your battery health on your iPhone. Have you guys ever checked your batteries? The battery health on your iPhone. I mean, my mom just got a brand new phone, brand new to her phone, an iPhone 16 Pro. Helped her set it up. The battery life, if you check the battery health, says 90%. So in 1 year, it went from 100% to 90%. So you can't get the full range. So not only do these Teslas with extreme weather conditions and all these other things, and you can only charge it to 80%, reduce how far you can drive in the range, then after a few years, you wouldn't even get the full use out of the battery. So you might only be getting 150 miles to full charge or charging to 80%. It's ridiculous.
Common sense when you use somebody's truck, put it back where you found it. But being as though people can't follow simple instructions,
So they're all
I
electric.
don't have a full charge today.
Knowing my truck's electric, why would you not plug it up? If you know my truck is electric, why would you not plug it up? You done use my battery. What am I use? Parcels. One big parcel. Parcels. Oh, my little street. Something big. Let me see how much juice I got. This is an extended video today. To God be the glory.
All electric car, and you got to still put the key in?
Look at that.
What am I looking at? It's at 3/4 of a charge. Okay.
I got 84 miles.
What? His all-electric Ford van at 3/4 of a charge only gets 85 miles of range? Junk. I can understand using them if you're an older person or you're only doing local trips and you can charge it at home. But for commercial use, it's just pure stupidity to try to integrate electric cars. 3/4 charged, 84 miles use. The previous person didn't charge it. So now his job is delayed and he's got to wait there for who knows how long for this thing to trickle charge back up.
To E. Let's hope that I can make it. And then they mess with your settings. Like, what in the heck?
Unreal. If it can't go 300 miles at the speed limit with the AC cranked, I don't want it. And that's true. This dude can only get 84 miles at 3/4 of a charge. What stupidity is that? And the U.S. Postal Service is accepting that and using that? That is unreal. It's junk. Literal junk. How are we accepting this stupid reality? Unbelievable.
There is no used car market for EVs. We as salespeople, Tesla included, need to do a better job of explaining to people that when you buy an EV, you have to understand that the market on it, when you trade it in or try to sell it privately, is not going to be there. EVs are the only vehicles where what KBB is saying, what Edmunds is saying, what all of those online trade value things are saying is not real because they don't sell. A 5-year-old F-150 still has a 36-gallon tank. Doesn't work the same way for an EV.
That's very true.
5 years later, that battery might have lost 25% of its life. I get it. It goes against everything we were taught, but we really are shooting ourselves in the foot when they come back and try to trade it, and they're shocked that they're not even at half what they paid for the car 2 years later.
Wow.
You need to lease them and make it the dealership's problem.
Very true. Honestly, I probably would only lease a Tesla now that he brings it up. That is so true. A 5 or 7 year old gas tank on any car that gets 300 miles per tank still will get 300 miles per tank in 5 years, in 7 years, in 10 years. But your battery on your electric car, like we talk about on cell phones, you might have lost 25% of battery health in 2 to 3 years. So now you can't even get that full charge at max range. Moral of the story is buy a used EV. I don't even know if I'd do that unless it's for, shits and giggles. Ain't no EV losing 25% in 5 years. 5 to 7% is normal. I don't believe that at all. We just talked about the cell phone losing 10% in 1 year. 5 years, I can see an EV losing even more than 25%. And of course, your Teslas aren't going to show that to you. But, people that want to be transparent and real, please feel free to leave the comments down below because I'd love to hear about it. That also reminds me, what's even crazier than people losing 25% of their battery life on these Teslas or EV cars in 5 years? The fact that more than 60% of you that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed to the channel, that's crazier than these EV cars and the depreciation that they lose and the battery health. Believe it or not, subscribing to the channel is completely free, doesn't cost a dime. You actually learn stuff and could save yourself money in the long run if you listen to the videos that we make instead of going out and doing this stuff. So it's worth the investment of just tapping that subscribe button down below.
Why electric vehicles suck. This is a Mustang Mach-E. It's got 10 battery cells. Each cell is roughly $7,000 each. Now compare the price of one of your cells going bad versus the price of an entire new gas engine. Lol. No thank you.
I don't know if I believe that that's 70 grand for the 10 battery cells for that Mach-E, but moral of the story, what I need you to take away from that is when something goes wrong with it, you need to have crazy equipment like that dude had to drop the battery out and work on it. And then you got to have like a engineering electronics degree to mess around with it. It's very dangerous. It's pretty easy, or a lot easier, I would think, to be working on stuff in your engine or on your car like that than that insanity. You have to have very expensive equipment and a lift and several other things to drop that battery.
Mobile recharge customer number 3, 2025 Toyota BZ4.
This is hysterical. Charging his car up on the side of the road because he ran out of gas. Ran out of electric and now needs a generator to charge it back up. That's hysterical. Not charging at home is like buying a phone, but you can only charge it at Starbucks. It's pure insanity. You're just overcomplicating your life at that point.
Imagine losing $30,000 in just 2 years. This is a 2023 Ford Mustang Mach-E. Let me tell you, the inside of this car is not bad. The outside of the car looks pretty good. But when you buy one of these, you can lose so much money. Like I said, this one has lost over $30,000 in value in 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
The MSRP on this back in 2023 was $50,000, almost $51,000.
Unbelievable.
Today, currently, this thing is worth $21,000. And then they got to reinvent stuff like the door handle.
Yeah.
You have to have this push button now to open the door. And there's no physical way to get into this car besides that push button from the outside. So when the battery dies, you have to go over to the front bumper. You got to push this panel in, pull this out, and then take these two cables right here. These are the cables that you use. You jump this with a jump box, which I don't know where you would have because it'd probably be in the car that's locked in the car. Opens the front. Then you jump the battery, then you can open the door again. Awesome design.
Like I was saying, like, I don't know why they need to overcomplicate it and make it futuristic. It's beyond stupid. And the Mach E's, the fact that they lose that much depreciation, it's insane. The biggest flop by Mustang and Ford I have ever seen. Am I the only person who gets cars based on repairs? Like, it's going to break down one day. I'd rather it be cheap and easy enough that me or my friend can fix it. If the battery costs more than an entire vehicle, it's not worth it. I drive my cars into the ground and batteries don't last forever. Yeah, exactly. That's very true. And it's extremely complicated to be working on these batteries and replacing them for, you know, weekend warriors and DIYers like myself. If you have a shop and can do all that stuff, by all means. But it's not going to be cheap by any means necessary.
Ford Mach-E?
Yeah, because his wife is buried in this thing. They said they should have leased it, but
they bought it.
I told them, us as a dealership, we give you that information. I'm assuming they didn't tell you how this market usually plays out.
You never know. They might have. We've had a few people that have insisted on buying electric cars despite our pleading that they not. So this has got a bad Carfax. And so what do they owe on this?
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's really bad.
How bad? This doesn't even have all-wheel drive?
Knocked off like a bunch for that.
Yeah, $1,500.
Current payoff, and this is what he gave me. We still have to pull it, but about 48 grand.
Oh my god.
So it was like 31 grand upside down?
Yeah, they know they're 30K flip. They know it's a nightmare. But then I just reached out to him over the weekend and just said, hey, I don't know if you guys have thought about it lately, but, you know, with this promotion ending, I'd love to just give it another shot, see if it's something that works for you guys. So we're looking at potentially burying it into that EQE. I think they're going to just be willing to accept that their payments.
Another all-electric vehicle that also depreciates like a rock. Have we not learned anything?
I go at least near 1,500 minimum. I guess it's just the best we can do on the appraisal and then go from there.
Send this information to Plug. Let's see what they come back with. Let's just see what they say, because if they value this car a lot higher than the number that we're getting back on it, then we obviously want to make sure that we can utilize that number and help to offset some of this negative. If we don't keep it, not going to break my heart, right? I mean, a rear-wheel drive Mach-E with a bad Carfax, it does not sound like something that I think we're going to do well with. I don't think it's worth a dice roll, personally. That sounds like a car that could age very quickly on our lot, and I prefer that not to happen. I mean, you can argue that it's a lot of car for the money. You know what I mean? That's not expensive. It's just that the bad Carfax portion of it, the rear-wheel drive, it's red, which not as many people looking for a red car as white, black, gray. It's a tough.
Have they not learned anything? Gap insurance and send it. And the fact that I bet so many people do this, they get gap insurance to cover the difference and then they total it. Or what happened a lot here in Florida, they probably just parked it near the water when we had Hurricane Ian or some big, hurricane, and then it got flooded out and destroyed. Boom, got gap insurance, done deal. I mean, think about it. A lot of people probably did that. It's pretty easy to do. How could you get in trouble for it if you left it there a little bit near the beach? I'm sure there's some explaining to do, but certainly that was a thought in my mind. Get gap and park it in a ghetto with the keys in it. That's what I am saying. 30K upside down and then going to a Mercedes. Let's do it. Yeah, people do not learn anything. People love having problems. I try to help and solve so many people's issues, and they don't want it. They just want to talk about it, and they just keep doing dumb stuff like this. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's electric car insanity episode. Definitely make sure, if you haven't already, smash that like button, turn on post notifications, subscribe. If you haven't seen my previous electric car insanity episode, definitely make sure to check it out right after this. Peace.